It was supposed to be a quiet weekend getaway. After months of non-stop work, I needed a break, and the small town of Black Hollow seemed perfect. I booked a room at a place called the Silent Hotel, an old building nestled deep in the mountains. The name intrigued me, and the reviews spoke of its charm and tranquility. When I arrived, the hotel looked like it had been plucked from another era. Its towering structure was a mix of faded brick and ornate woodwork, and the air around it felt still, as if the world outside couldn't quite reach it. The receptionist, a pale woman with sharp features, greeted me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She handed me the key to room 207 and whispered, "Enjoy your stay." Her voice was soft, almost too soft, and it lingered in the empty lobby long after she'd spoken. The hallway to my room was dimly lit, the kind of dimness that made you squint to see clearly. The carpet was worn, the wallpaper peeling, and yet it felt oddly alive, like the building itself was watching. Room 207 was at the end of the hall. The door creaked loudly as I pushed it open, revealing a modest room with a single bed, a dresser, and a window overlooking the forest. Everything seemed normal, except for the mirror hanging on the wall opposite the bed. It was large and ornate, its frame intricately carved with swirling patterns. That first night I didn't sleep well. I kept hearing noises, a soft tapping, the faint creak of footsteps in the hallway. Several times I got up to check the peephole, but no one was there. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to the distinct sound of whispering. It wasn't loud, but it was close, like someone was standing right outside the door. I froze, my heart pounding. "Who's there?" I called out. The whispering stopped. Summoning what little courage I had, I opened the door and peered into the hallway. It was empty. The next morning I asked the receptionist if anyone else was staying on my floor. She hesitated before shaking her head. "You're the only guest in that wing," she said. I should have left right then, but something kept me there. A strange pull I couldn't explain. That evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, the hotel grew eerily silent. Even the distant hum of the town seemed to vanish. I locked my door and tried to focus on a book, but the unease was unbearable. At midnight, the mirror caught my attention. It seemed different. The glass shimmered faintly like it was alive, and my reflection looked off. I stood in front of it, studying my face. For a moment, everything seemed normal. But then my reflection blinked, and I hadn't. I stumbled back, my breath hitching. The reflection smiled at me, its grin too wide, too unnatural. "Don't leave," it whispered. I turned away, refusing to look at it again, and grabbed my bag. I needed to get out of that place. But when I opened the door, the hallway was gone. In its place was an endless corridor lined with doors, each one slightly ajar. From inside the rooms came faint, muffled voices, crying, laughing, whispering. Panic set in as I stepped into the corridor, my feet moving on their own. The walls seemed to close in, the air growing heavy with each step. One of the doors creaked open wider as I passed, revealing a dark figure sitting on a bed. Its head snapped toward me, its glowing eyes piercing through the darkness. "Stay," it hissed, its voice echoing down the corridor. I ran. No matter how far I went, the hallway stretched endlessly. The doors slammed shut behind me, the echoes mixing with the whispers that now surrounded me. Finally, I collapsed in front of one door that stood out. A plain wooden door with no handle, only a keyhole. Desperate, I peered through it. On the other side was my room. But in the bed, I saw myself, sleeping peacefully, unaware of the nightmare unfolding outside. A cold hand gripped my shoulder, and a voice whispered in my ear, "You can't leave." I woke up in the car, parked outside the hotel. The sun was rising, casting long shadows over the building. My belongings were in the passenger seat as if I had never checked in. I didn't stop to question it. I drove away and never looked back. But even now, months later, I can feel it. That pull, that silent invitation to return. and at night, when I pass a mirror, I sometimes see a shadow that doesn't belong,